Jörn, how's the sound?
It's amazing, Jem. Good to
It's
talk to you.
amazing. That's cool. So we wait, I guess, one more minute. What do you think about my ring?
I'm very curious where you're going with this, so it works.
Okay, guys, we start in 1 minute. Okay, welcome to today's webinar. The idea today is that the webinar is kind of a course with a lot of QR codes. So there will be a lot of links, practical links to places where you can find information. Let's get started. So I'm going to cover, first of all, I want to cover one thing for Evas. So Sanna, Helene, Evas, I mean, or country managers, team managers, how we give more love to the sites. I will start with that right away, actually. So this site here, Rate, which is a town in Finland, apparently, where there was a war, it has amazing traction. It has like, it's ranking number 2. Okay, this is new. There's no monthly search volume there, but we're number 3 where there's 1,900 searches a month. Obviously, the domain name is fantastic. Here, normally, I will go and find the site here. Where's this Rate guy? So what you can do, what I suggest you do, if you have SERP 10 or SERP 3, sort by that like once every 2 weeks or something. And here you see that we have a lot of traffic. We have 247 users going into the site. I would assume that the bounce rate is through the roof. This one here should get more static pages, but most importantly, I mean, it needs content twice a month, because this site is kind of exploding, so we need to build on that. So please, I mean, basically just sort here, and then you look for sites that are ranking very high, and most importantly, have a lot of visitors on the site, and then you can up the content a bit to 2 posts a month, or maybe 1 good static page or something like that. Okay, so I'll go back to the presentation. It was just a side note. Then I'm going to review 2 batch 4 sites. Then we have last week's webinar, we were going through the clinic reviews. Now we have an amazing format, and we're ready to put up. For you guys who master it, that are batch 3 and up, there will be at least 2 posts. More, pretty good, so it's worth mastering. I'll get back to that. Some guides, some old webinars, and new to join, and then how Jörn has simplified the way to get reward points. So we'll explain how to get that. So the 2 sites that I wanted to review is first Emily's site, which is botnermusic. And it's a very good site. It's ranking number 8 on botnermusic. It's pretty new. Let's check it out. Close. So this is a good front page. Good internal link. Yeah. I think this is a very good site, Emily. However, I think one thing, and this goes for Helene and Sanna, and it goes to all the languages. We're a bit too ambitious here. So jazz, I don't have an idea, but I think it has a lot of searches. So let's check in a keyword tool. I'm going to check jazz. Obviously, we check it in Swedish, but we start here. So let's see how many it has in English. Only 3.3 million searches in Sweden. Yeah, 14,800. Not much competition, but I mean, if the domain name is not just.se or .nu or .com, yeah, and just.com would be cool too. But if it's not that, we are not going to rank for that. So it's too ambitious. We need to go further down to niche keywords. So I will do the same here. Folk music. So here it's like folk. Yeah, I guess that's the general name, but it also has a synonym which is people in Swedish. This doesn't work. I mean, it needs to be folk music. Let's see how many searches it has though. Folk music 1,600. Yeah, this could work, but I mean, folk. It's both to. I mean, has too many different meanings, and you see there's folk art and tons of different stuff here. We're not going to rank for that. So this here is simply needs some love. It needs basically you need to change it to folk music, or was there anything else we could find here? Folk music. Let's see if we can find some that are a bit okay. I think folk music is good, and then you could do some blog post about Tysk German folk music, and Dalarna is probably pretty good also. So that is basically my main comment on this, that it's ambition is good, but in this case here we won't get any traffic on the sites because it's simply too hard competition. So please fix that on this site before you move on with other sites. It's same as a side note. Last week I commented about guitarheroes.fe. It's still not fixed. The PSD thing needs to get fixed. I mean, because it's not correct. So please do that. And then I will check the other side. And that's Primitivasiat, which means something about arrow. I mean, shooting with an arrow or something. Did I go to the right side now? Yeah, it's okay. So here, as traction, it's ranking on it. And the only thing, I see, let's check the site out. So the thing I noticed here is that we don't have a blog, and that is kind of a bit unorthodox. So I asked Sun actually before this webinar, and what was done, which is great, is that we recreated the URL, which was /Kestetulio or something. That has a lot of links and stuff, but we need a blog on it. So I would say that make this one a blog, and then write a new page, or do a new blog where, I mean, we install that and here write some proper content on this one that would actually rank. And whatever this is, let's see if we have it here. Did I put it? No, I didn't. So let's see what if this is ranking. So what I'm doing now for people who don't know it, so that you can check rankings in a lot of different ways. we have an integration with Circbook, which makes it very easy to track few keywords on a lot of sites. And we obviously are building a lot of sites, so it makes it easy to make decisions. Okay, this doesn't seem to rank. I don't even know what it means. Okay, I mean, but that's the side note. So I love the thing that we are not doing only 301s, that we're actually recreating the URL. So bonus for that ambition, but let's have blogs on the sites. It's a bit unorthodox to call a blog something else. People wouldn't know what to do with that. So great job on that. I'm looking forward to other sites, but please fix these. Then I wanted to cover a bit about this. I mean, mastering clinic review. So in the good old days, 2004 or something, you could basically do SEO by finding a keyword and then spamming the text with that keyword, repeating it in tons of different ways, and then you will kind of rank if you got some backlinks to it also. That doesn't work anymore, and it has not worked for a lot of years. You have to write incredibly good content. And we have, so we started this 2 weeks ago, we have for the reviews that we have on our sites, we have a format now that I think is simply amazing. And it takes, you have to invest a bit to become good at this. So if you want, I mean, the reason why it makes sense to master these clinic reviews is that it pays 16 to 23 euro depending on language per text. You learn how to write a great SEO text that, I mean, the way you do research, how to prepare, how to include keywords, and we can more or less guarantee you at least 2 tasks per writer a week. Right now it's way more, but I also think that you have a bit of a learning curve. So you can scan this code here, and then you would go to Jörn's amazing English webinar about it. We will also roll it out in, I guess, next week. Sanna and Helena are currently working on the Swedish and Finnish ones. I think Thomas is also working on it, so we will have a Norwegian one for it, and then we will just put them up in the app, and they will do a writing webinar about it and record it, so you can watch how to do it. But I suggest you watch this one in English. Jörn is usually pretty great at explaining this kind of stuff. So I just want to show you a bit so how this looks, and I think it's a fantastic. Jörn and Claire worked on this one. We all did, but I mean, this really fantastic job. So you go in here and you're, I mean, you have searched for Asmed hair transplant review or something, and then it summarizes the costs. There's a rating to it, and here you can go through, I mean, explains in a very good way different things, and it's you can compare different clinics on it. And then you have the SEO part here with good, I covered it last week, with good headers, good keywords, and nice enough to pre-process this stuff, so you guys don't have to think so much about it. But I really suggest that you guys master this one, because then you have a lot of work, and the better you get, if you write really good reviews here, because we check them a lot, you probably get way more work as well. And yeah, and I mean, this is the way you write a casino review or slot review or any great text for that matter. You always have to construct it in a certain way. And this is a good way to get paid to do that, get that experience, I guess. Then I wanted to go through our 7-step guides. So in the chat, there's like a lot of questions. So probably you guys will get this video, and new people will get this video when they sign up. And we have actually created a step-by-step guide on how to reach batch 4 and get guaranteed work. And the place to find this kind of stuff is scanning this code, obviously, But I mean, I will just show you what it is about. So this is our blog, which we manage a lot of sites, but we don't update this one so much. I mean, there's not so much, maybe there's some stuff to talk about, but I prefer to do these webinars and stuff like that. So here we have different posts. I mean, how to get more tasks, leads booking with Calendly, and some interesting stuff. You can probably check it out. And then we have something called onboarding here. So if you scan that QR code, you will go to the onboarding part where we have 3 different guides at the moment that explain step by step how to do it. There are a bit too many links in it now. We have to update them, but I think they give a very good view on what to do. So they basically explain how, like, what we are doing here and what kind of business we do, how you get freelance work, and then like step 1, step 2, step 3. I mean, if you follow these, you are on a very good way to get rolling. I mean, I would say that this is the guide, and this guide is intended to help you step by step, so you don't have to be there and wonder what you're supposed to do. So then we have a lot. I mean, we're doing webinars every week. I think we do like 7 of them or something. And we, as a principle, we record most of them, all of them. The only ones that we're not recording at the moment is our Tuesday meetings with the team leaders, where we discuss some internal stuff, and I think we will start recording them. I'm a lot about transparency, so but I'm not 100% sure how to do it yet. So those are the ones that are not recorded. So here to left, if you scan that one, you will go to our playlists. And I realized, so on our YouTube channel, which is getting not like explosive growth, but it has some growth each week, I see. We have playlists, and here each team manager is curating that, responsible for the badges are curating their own playlist here. So we have finished writing webinars, for example. Let's see what we have there. We have a lot of webinars here. So I think there's 9 videos. It has 132 views. Finland is by far the most successful language so far. I mean, it's a great job to Sanna and her team. I mean, I think it has 7 or 8 people that has passed batch 4 already. And they're building tons of sites. I mean, I think 15 a week or something now. So here are some lists. As a side note, we might need to curate them. I want to add my metas in them, and maybe we should remove some. But here you have almost all the necessary or the required webinars. If you watch these, you will be in very good shape when you take your badges. And I suggest that if you want to do these badges, so we give free reward points for each test, but only once. So if you fail that one, and fantastic, we are doing stuff in WordUp a bit in our own way. For example, metas, we have level 15 people that thought they didn't need to watch the webinars, or I mean, and they failed in metas because we changed a bit on how we did it and became stricter, and then they didn't pass that webinar. So that's kind of a shame. And I have a lot of people in the chat asking like if they can get a second chance, and the answer is no. You have to earn the reward points if you fail. So I think the best way is that you watch these playlists and then join one of the live webinars. So on the right here, if you scan that code, you go to a courses page. And you can also go to wordup.com courses, of course. I just wanted to simplify it a bit with the courses pages. So take this away as well. So here we have weekly live webinars, and I mean, you have mine here that is still called Elite Word Uppers. We might rename that a bit because we moved that meeting to some other days. We have a Swedish writing webinar, English writing webinar, Japanese writing webinar, Finnish, Norwegian, and this amazing badge 4 site review webinar that Jörn is hosting every Monday. So here the idea is, so if you start with, when we get in a big project, and I think clinic reviews is a good example. So when we have a big project that is going to go on for a long time, the Eva's responsible for that project, they run a writing webinar, so it becomes easy for you to start writing a great text right away. And then they record that, so people that cannot join the live webinar, they go in there. And this is a great way also to ask questions and get feedback right away. I mean, they don't have time to answer all the questions that they get through emails and whatever. And frankly, the most efficient way is to do it through one of those webinars. So I guess this next Swedish writing webinar is going to be clinics, same for Finnish, and same for Norwegian. So there's, please join those. Then finally, how do you get these points? So this has been a bit of a frustration, I think, and Jörn has done a great job here. He has actually done a form. So if you scan this one, so you do all the preparation before, and then you're ready to take the test. Then you, and I think you should, so then you fill in this one where you have a native language, your word up ID, you go in here to find that one. I mean, there's a link. So my ID is here, and I would just copy this one down. So my native language is Swedish. My name, Jam. Oh, cool. Hope I get some points. Which badge I'm ready to take? From below. So here, I watched the webinar for this badge on youtube.com WordUp. I haven't received reward points for this badge before, so please don't apply if you have already received those reward points for that badge. Then you're not going to get them, and it's frankly a bit of a waste of time of the persons that have to admin this. They don't get paid to administer the points, so please don't do that. And then you, because we want to track you, please set aside some time to do this, so you don't take a badge test and then you don't really have time to do it. So, and I mean, especially badge 4, that requires focus if it's the first time you build a website. I mean, it's, you're going to learn a lot in a very short time. So it's going to be intense focus. So, and then I would say send. Let's do that. See what happens. Okay, so I will get it in 24 hours. You won't get any notification, and I have to check my balance. Okay. So I guess it's 24 hours on work days. We should probably add that. So here is how you get the reward points. I hope we have some guys that have not taken the badges test yet that are ready to take it. And that is actually it for today. And now it's the time for the Q&A. So this is where you guys can ask any question you want for yourselves, or things that you think that other people would wonder about. So I can answer them, and so other people can benefit from those answers. So are there any questions? I will wait like 1 minute or something. Please ask them in the chat. Jörn is answering there. It takes a bit to sometimes to write. If some people are on mobile or whatever, we have learned that it takes a while to type it in. I mean, for me, it takes forever on mobile actually. But let's wait for 30 more seconds, and then if there is no questions, then we'll call it a day. Okay, no questions. Then guys, thanks for joining, and I hope to see you again next week. Thanks a lot. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.